Hello and welcome to this week's retrospective, and it's been about taking a step back, brought about by that bigger question that I shared in last week's retrospective: is what does content actually look like in the age of AI? This probably deserves its own video, but one thing is becoming clear to me: the on-the-page experience will inevitably be part of that evolution, how we deliver the content and in what shape. I'm moving away from the formulated, templated structures I think people will expect. And if we accept that content formats and interaction patterns and user expectations are going to shift dramatically because of what AI can enable, and that is generative AI from a text point of view, generative AI from video and image point of view, then we need an environment that's adaptive enough to handle whatever we need to throw at it. And this is again where I think small businesses can move faster than large businesses that have these huge infrastructures. So, static templates, rigid CMS structures may not cut it anymore. So I'm trying to break things. So maybe that might not be true, but my gut's telling me that they won't. Especially if you're experimenting with what I call AI-powered content delivery, dynamic personalization, or entirely new content formats that don't exist yet. So if part of that, we've been looking at, okay, how do we quickly shift that? And is it possible to quickly shift? Answer is yes. But as part of that, the week's insight was that we started doing some tests on Webflows. We used the MCP integration and the ease with which you can basically chat a web page into life, for me, triggered a really good use case for marketing departments in smaller businesses where, you're like, this page won't cut it, or I'm sending out this email and there are 3 different audiences, so I need to quickly spin up 3 different pages. You can literally just chat that into life. Campaign velocity can increase, personalization can increase by talking to life these landing pages, rather than having to brief developers. Developers put stuff on the backlog or aren't interested in doing a boring job of building a landing page. I've seen it in small businesses that I've consulted with, and the traditional bottleneck between marketing strategy and web execution can completely dissolve. And that is pretty much all I have to share this week. I really feel like we're on the cusp of this notion where people are saying AI is going to create a volume and velocity of dribble. That may well be true, but I see more and more people doubling down on this notion is that when you create content, you're telling a story. And the more exciting question is, how do these new tools and these new features and functionalities enable me to tell that story better? And I think that is the question we should be answering. Thank you for watching. Thank you for those of you who are choosing to subscribe, to follow this journey.